50 has always built a superb street course, allowing the best of Britain's pro skaters to put on a proper demonstration. Everyone was ripping, but it was the smooth style of Flynn Trotman, Rodney Clark and Brian Jones that shredded the park to pieces. Door. That was far too much adventure for one weekend. That's probably why it's called the National Adventure Sports Weekender. I better get some sleep. Door. Come on, chop chop.
What's up, you're watching Rad?
The main man for freestyle skateboarding is Rodney Mullen.
Yeah, but the best man to explain it all has got to be Daniel Gesmer. Check him out.
Yeah, doggies.
That guy'd spin on the head of a 50p.
Yeah.
My name is Daniel Gesmer. I was a pro freestyle skateboarder in the mid and late 1980s. Some of you may remember me from the 1988 Powell video called Public Domain. These days I own and run a company called Seismic Skate Systems. I developed and market a high-tech carving-oriented truck called the Seismic Truck. What drew me to skateboarding initially was basically the magic feeling of effortless gliding and turning, and I think that's an important part of what hooks many of us. Freestyle is an event that is practiced on a big flat open space, and skaters choreograph set routines to a piece of music. This is basically the first true event in skateboarding. Well, without freestyle, there really wouldn't be much else. It was freestyle skateboarders who invented things like the kick turn and the 180, and without those fundamental basics, you know, people wouldn't be going to the top of a ramp and turning around. My whole approach as a competitive freestyle skateboarder, I was interested in carrying it to an advanced artistic level comparable to what we see in Olympic caliber ice skating. It's funny, I was always a pretty controversial figure in my competitive days because I was integrating a lot of elements from dance into what I was doing, and a lot of people were sort of squeamish about what I was doing, at least on a superficial level. They thought it was, well, to be blunt, gay, and that was really hard for me to take as, you know, as a 25-year-old straight guy. A lot of the people who came up to me and really said, "Hey man, we think what you're doing is cool," are the skaters who later self-destructed. People like Gator, Christian Osoy, Jeff Phillips. You know, maybe it's actually kind of a hidden compliment, because often the people who are sort of on the edge of self-destruction are the folks who are the most thoughtful and creative.
Still being wild.
In the mid-70s, when the freestyle event was really preeminent, the number of 360s that a skater could do was often considered the best barometer of his overall ability, and it was interesting that, you know, 25 years ago, instead of how high can you ollie or how many stairs can you jump down, it was how many times can you turn around on your back wheels. I don't think it's fair to say that the freestyle event as a whole has died. We held a World Freestyle Championships in San Francisco in November. There's no question in my mind that a lot of young skaters neglect to develop mastery over fundamental techniques. They'll be able to do more with their ollie and board flip techniques if they master the basics.
Last week, Simon Tabron taught you the rollback.
This week, he shows you how to do a tabletop. Take it away, Simon. Dude, that bunny's got his head on backwards. You got your head screwed on all Baba-Jawood and all Wappa-Jaw, boy. Y'all Wappa-Jaw. You got me right in the nose.
Hi, I'm Simon Tabron. Last time I showed you how to do rollbacks, and this time I'm going to show you how to do the tabletop. The first tip for doing a tabletop is obviously you have to be able to jump or to air out of a ramp or something, so you choose where you're going to do it. Once you take off and go into the air, you're looking to tuck the bike up sideways and you use the handlebars to push the bike down flat. Now this is all about bringing your knees together and putting your feet out to one side and pushing the bike down, using the handlebars as leverage so you can get in that nice flat position. And obviously once it's flat and you peak out in the air, that's time to pull it up straight and get ready to land. I always find the best place to do tabletops is either on a vert ramp or a quarter pipe or over a hip ideally, because the bike's already part way to the tabletop, so you're going to find it a lot easier to lay the bike flat in the air. Eventually you should be able to do it on a straight jump, but hey, whatever works for you, go out and try and see how you like it. Okay, that was tabletops. It's a real fun trick, so go away and learn it and have fun with it. You can do this trick anywhere, it's so much fun. Next time I'm going to show you how to do no-handers, so enjoy. I'm Simon Tabron, I'm going to tell you how to do a 900. You take off, you spin 900 degrees, then you land and ride away.
Hey, yo, Mark. These cats have been nicking your ideas.
What do you mean? Search for the Holy Trail? That's a rip-off.
Nah, dude, there's some good stuff in there, man. Super good. Check this out, y'alls. Oh, man.
Dude, that's one gnarly bunny.
Man, you're going in the stew, dog. You're going in the stew.
Next up,
one of the originals in skateboard manufacturing.
we head over to Santa Cruz.
California.
Check
It.
out. What's this?
Hey, that's mine.
Hey, I'm really sorry about that punch earlier, dude. It was only a little love tap, all right?
I'm not.
Founded in 1973, Santa Cruz's roots are firmly planted in skateboarding. Over a decade later, they branched into snowboards, before more recently stamping their mark on surfing.
The importance of Santa Cruz being in all three board sports now, it's just an evolutionary process that's taken place. Snowboarding evolved from skateboarding. Skateboarding really evolved from surfing, so we kind of did this full circle.
Building a team around three sports that are fundamentally centered on self-expression is no easy feat, but Santa Cruz have managed to get it right.
They are all individual sports, and that's the attraction to skateboarding and surfing and snowboarding, is the fact that you don't have a coach whistling and you don't have to rely on others to succeed.
As a result of the evolutionary process, it's not surprising that a crossover has been generated between the three board sports.
Everybody's skateboarding. That's the one common bond that we have. And that's kind of what we are as a company. We are a skateboard company first, and we are a skateboard company that makes snowboards. We're a skateboard company that makes surfboards, and everything that we design is kind of like, if it works for skateboarding and it can work for surfing, then we do it. But we kind of ask that question first, you know, is this going to work in the skateboard market, or are we staying true to the fact that, hey, we were a skateboard company in 1973 first?
Skating and snowboarding basically came from surfing, so I feel like they're all interconnected, and it's throughout generations. It's maybe the same type of person that would skate now would be the type of person that surfed a lot in the 60s or snowboards a lot now too. It's just kind of like an alternative thing to baseball or football or running. When I go to a contest, it's not like how I do doesn't affect the rest of the Santa Cruz team, and how they do doesn't affect me. We're all like individuals competing for the individuality, but I definitely am proud of my team and really like, if somebody else on my team does good, I get really psyched, and I'm sure they'd want me to do well too.
Everybody on the team is not just a teammate, but they're a close friend of mine. We all get along great. We hang out every day, whether we're snowboarding or not. Everybody, like my team manager and everybody who works at Santa Cruz, is also a good friend, and they treat us like a family.
We try and do team events. All our guys travel together as far as contests go. They travel together for video purposes. If there's a video premiere going on, we'll fly them all in together. And so they're all definitely their own individuals, but they act together as a team as far as the traveling stuff goes.
More of like friends or like a family than a team.
Constantly on the lookout for new talent, the team selection process is very different to that of organized field sports.
A lot of times it's referrals from existing team riders. They'll ride with someone that they'll either run into somebody on the road or meet somebody at a contest, whatever, and they'll refer them that way. Or it's through word of mouth. You hear people talking. We'll get a retailer that'll call us up and say, hey, this guy's skating really well. You guys should talk to him, type of thing.
Everyone on the Santa Cruz team has definitely earned their position on the team. It's not something that was handed to them, that they had to prove themselves to the company and for themselves that they were on a level that they could skate professionally for the company. And Santa Cruz isn't something to be taken lightly.
Another unique feature of the team's work ethic is the lack of pressure put on any of their athletes to take part in competition.
Sometimes competitions can't be a true reflection of how good that rider is, and it's always been that way. But nowadays, I think the competition side has become a little less important. The most important thing on the skateboard side is the video. If a guy can put together a really good video part that shows his true talent skateboarding, then that's something that's going to carry him for a long way, a lot longer than winning a contest would. So it's always great to see our guys doing well in a contest. It's good for them. Obviously they get a great feeling out of winning, and we love to see it. But it's not the most important thing to Santa Cruz. As long as they're progressing within themselves, and then that's really all that matters.
Next up, Christian tries his hand at kite surfing.
Down in Watergate Bay, Cornwall.
Hey, I hope you got some wind down there.
Talk about some wind down there. Bunny let one loose. Dag, dog.
Oh.
You always blame the bunny.
Aujourd'hui, I'm in Watergate Bay, Cornwall, right next to Newquay. And we're gonna give kite surfing a go if the wind picks up. You need about 15 miles an hour. Right now we're rocking 4, so keep your fingers crossed. Might go kite surfing. How long has kite surfing been around?
It's been brewing for a long, long time, but it's mainly hit in Maui in France about maybe 5 years ago, and in England it's been around properly, say, 2 years. Kind of mainly started off with the Lejeune brothers. They were junior sailing champions, and they sort of started playing around with it as sails, and they mucked around, and eventually they patented it.
How easy is kite surfing to pick up for maybe like a surfer or a snowboarder or a skateboarder?
Board skills help, but the basic thing you've got to learn is how to fly a kite. And once you get going, your learning curve's quite quick.
You're dealing with a force that you not really have much control over. Like, you know, I mean, I guess surfing, you got the wave. This is like a whole other element with the wind.
That's all the fun, isn't it? You combine it into the most awesome elements we got. We got the wind and the ocean. You stick them together and it goes nuts. The guys on the contest now are regularly getting 6 seconds hang time, and I just saw a guy, Martin Barr, did 5.5 rotations as well before he landed. Can't wait to see what they're doing in 2 more years. Everybody's come from a lot of different sports at the moment. You've got people from windsurfing, surfing, snowboarding, and they're all bringing with them their own tricks and things from their area, and it's all getting merged right now into one big pot.
What kind of conditions are you looking for a good day of kite surfing?
We want about 15 mile an hour plus of wind. Sideshore wind, strong wind, and waves. Perfect.
And what are we looking at right now for a wind?
We've got about 4 mile an hour now.
We're rocking 4 miles an hour right now.
It's gonna get really scary.
Woo! I'll be doing this, right?
Yeah.
Do you think I might have a chance to go up today, or is it not looking too good?
So at the moment, it's not looking too good. But we can get a car on the land and see how you go.
All right, let's get this puppy up in the air and see if we've got enough wind to give it a go, huh?
Yeah, let's give it a chance.
Whoa.
Okay, so pull right, pull that right arm in.
Oh, whoops.
See, it's easy, isn't it?
Hey, where you going? I'm trying to do an interview with you. So what are my chances of kite surfing today looking like?
About 0, I'm afraid. It's not playing with us today, the wind.
No wind means no kite surfing. I'll see y'all later. Sorry, but I got stuff all over your camera, dude.
Don't worry, Christian. You'll get another chance. Anyway, you could go down to the Pro Championships, 15th to the 23rd of September.
Watergate Bay.
Very same one. Anyway, what have we got for this week's competition prizes?
Hey, come in here, Mel. Oh, yeah, Mr. Bunny Rabbit. Well, Mr. Tim Warwood, who taught you all those cool tricks, has supplied us a Solomon snowboard and bindings to give away on Rad.
Amazing. So, what do people have to do to win this stuff?
You gotta draw a picture of the bunny rabbit doing a trick on the snowboard.
Amazing. So, send those entries to Rad.
What's the bunny doing on a board comp? P.O. Box 2075 London, W1A 5SW.
That's Rad.
What's the bunny doing on a board comp? P.O. Box 2075 London, W1A 5SW.
All entries must be in 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, and check the website for everything that's rad, like music and competitions and all sorts of stuff.
That's the end of the show. Tune in, same time.
You guys know how hot it is in here.
Same time next week, same place. Well, maybe not under a bridge with a bunny rabbit. Bring me the head of Light Entertainment.
That's rock and roll, baby.